I am Assistant Professor Hemant Kumar Bhosle from Department of Civil Engineering, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering and Technology, Kolhapur. Today we are going to discuss about the geology of dams and reservoirs. Engineering geology is the application of the geological science to engineering projects for the purpose of assuring that the geological factors regarding the location, design, construction, operations, and maintenance of engineering works are sound enough for their sustenance. These structures include dams as a major construction project. This lesson highlights the various aspects related to dams, location of dams, alignment of dams, influence of rock types, etc. What is meant by dam? The dams are barrier constructed across rivers to store water. It will retain water at the upstream side of the structure. They are mainly built to control floods, for irrigating lands, for supplying water to industries and cities, generation of electricity, flood control, prevention, recreation, etc. If a dam serves more than one requirement, it is called as a multipurpose dam. A reservoir is the water retained by such a huge structure, or the mass of water stored at upstream side of the dam is called as a reservoir. In India, important multipurpose dams are constructed mainly for irrigation and hydropower. For instance, Nagarjuna Sagar Dam at Nadikonda village, Nalgonda district, Andhra Pradesh. Sriram Sagar Dam at Pochampad village, Nizamabad district, Andhra Pradesh, and Konar Dam at Hazaribagh, Bihar. These are the different parts of dams. This is the cross section of dam. Now, what is meant by hill? Hill of dam is the contact with ground on the upstream side. Toe of the dam is the contact on the ground on the downstream side. Abutment. Abutments are the sides of the valley on which the structure of the dam rests. Galleries. Galleries are small rooms like structure lift within the dam for checking operations. Spillway. It is a structure made to discharge the surplus water from storage reservoir into the river on the downstream side of the dam. Freeboard. The space between the highest level of water in the reservoir and the top of the dam. Parapet wall. Low protective wall on either side of the roadway on the crest. What is the crest? Crest, the top of the dam. In some cases, this provides a roadway or the railways. Dead storage level. Level of permanent storage below which water will not be withdrawn. Sluice way. These are the openings within the dam structure near base of the dam. Sluice way structures are used to analyze and clear the silt accumulation in the reservoir of the dam. Now, some standard guidelines for dams and reservoir investigation we are discussing. For preparation of economically valuable projects, it is necessary to undertake thorough geological investigation before constructing a hydraulic structure. Some standard guidelines suggested by the expert will facilitate for selection of suitable project or dam and post project completion measures depending upon the post construction problems. That is, first is the meteorological and hydrological study. Reservoir and dams were constructed for storage of runoff water in river basin. While planning the construction of reservoir, the first step is to undertake detailed investigation to assess the availability, runoff or rainfall water for storage in that particular basin. For that, rainfall data for frequencies of heavy rains in the catchments and its neighborhood areas should be collected, and evaluated for total rainfall pattern of the basin over a period of 100 years, depending upon the rainfall data from meteorological stations. In addition, data on maximum floodwater discharge of the river system during heavy rainfall or cyclone times should be collected. Mean monthly rainfall, maximum and minimum daily, and monthly temperature, relative humidity, evapotranspiration, percentage of cloud cover, etc. are to be collected as well. Next, hydrological studies. The following hydrological studies are required for a systematic analysis prior to the construction of a dam. That is rainfall runoff correlation studies, estimation of annual yield, and their breakup into monthly, monsoon and non-monsoon runoff. Topographical GIS GPS studies. In site investigation for civil engineering project, a detailed topographical map, utilization of GIS system, etc. have to be detailed studied. In reservoir and dam site investigations, topographical survey plays a vital role for assessing topographical features of the proposed project site. The first stage requires established benchmarks in consultation with the GIS engineers. GPS system can also be utilized for location of various sites, elevations, etc. The survey plans will be prepared to cater the requirement of the dams and discharge. That is, the dam or the project site topographical survey for dam, spillway, outlet works, diversion works, etc. The reservoir submersion plan for maximum reservoir level. River survey in a length of about 10 km upstream and 10 km downstream. Along the canal alignment, survey connected with cross drainage works for location of power station. In case of hydropower reservoirs, the survey plan should cover an area sufficient to include alternative solutions, layouts, and it should give contour at intervals of 5 meters. Next, geological studies. It includes surface and subsurface study, that is geophysical, seismicity, test drill, core drilling, etc. Previous chapter we have discussed in detail. Okay. Next, pre-irrigation soil survey and drainage soil survey. Pre-irrigation soil and drainage surveys are prerequisites to planning and designing any type of hydraulic structure. Irrigation projects aims in providing water resources to crop of the downstream region. Soil pattern, soil texture, and infiltration capabilities of soil of the project area. Chemical analysis of the soil, etc. are required to evaluate the feasibility of the project site during investigation. Next point is the construction material investigation. A map showing the location of sources of construction material required with distance and transport facility to work site should be given for rock, coarse and fine aggregate, pozzolans if required to be manufactured locally, such as soil for use in for use in earth dam, dikes, etc. An estimation of quantities available at various locations of the construction material should be given. On tests carried out on the various construction material are to be shown. The test procedures are and other details shall be as per the test procedure, and other details shall be as per the relevant BIS specifications. Next point is the communication investigation. Communication investigation is one of the prime prerequisite in dam and reservoir site selection. A detailed communication map is to be prepared incorporating existing communication detail of the project area. Presently, communication system utilizes cell phones, GIS and GPS for location and communication in the field. Mobile radio systems are also being utilized in the field to communicate from one person to another with in 3 to 5 kilometer range. The project execute instruction other field engineers by using the mobile radio system. Next is the environment impact assessment. Environmental impact can be defined as the adverse effects on air, water, land, etc. produced by the developmental work affecting in the characteristics of the natural environment. In India, till 1978, there was no formal requirement to access the environmental or social impact of large dams, either in order to access their viability or to attempt or minimize adverse impacts. Over 2,500 large dams were initiated in India prior to 1978. From 1978, the government of India started building dams from environmental point and they obtained environmental clearance prior to construction. Any project, any major project requires approval from the Department of Environment and Forest, Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India. Project planning requires a detailed report on the environmental impact of the project site, incorporating submergence of the area, including forest land, displacement of peoples, anticipated enclosure impact of the region, etc. Environmental approval is the must for all major civil engineering projects. Experts from various divisions of the environmental and ecological area such as air, land, water, forest, biodiversity, social, economical, archaeological, etc. are consulted for project evaluation before considering the approval. Next point is the stages of investigation in selection of dam site. That is, first is the preliminary geological investigation and another is the detailed investigation. These points we have already discussed in unit number 5, that is the surface and surface investigation. That is preliminary investigation. In preliminary investigation we studied the lithology, structures, topography, groundwater conditions, etc. In detailed investigation, that is surface and subsurface investigation, that is the maps, detailed maps, porosity, permeability of that particular area. In subsurface investigation, geophysical investigation is most important. That is again, that is drilling, excavation, exploratory drilling, their identification and thickness of the strata, etc. Next point is the selection of suitable dam site. A dam is directly or indirectly affected by numerous topographical, geological, geotechnical and environmental factors. Therefore, the selection of suitable site for a dam structure is a difficult task. Some of the consideration are as follows. Majority of the portion of the dam construction site should be on high ground. It will not only reduces the construction cost but also facilitate drainage. Second point, location of dam construction site should be a narrow valley. It will minimize both length and construction cost of the dam. Moreover, it will save construction time and early production of hydropower can be started. Next point, more emphasis should be given on the quality of foundation rock. Foundation rock should be hard, non-stratified, without fracture, joints, folds and faults. Moreover, foundation rock should be present at shallow to moderate depth. Next point, availability of construction material nearby the construction site also minimize both the construction cost and time. Next point, dam site should be connected with nearby towns and cities via road. Next point, dam site should have suitable topography and that can naturally hold large amount of reservoir water in the upstream side of the dam. Next, the reservoir and dam site rocks should have low porosity and permeability. There should be enough space near the dam site to construct staff houses, offices, guest houses, small hospitals or schools, etc. Next point, the entire reservoir area should be covered with thick vegetation cover. It will not only minimize surface erosion by reservoir water but also decreases the silting problem in the reservoir. Next point is the influence of geological conditions on, that is, first is the location. How the location affects the dam. The main geological problem related with the location of dam site that usually meets with the rocks like shales. The shales are of two types: cementation shales and compaction shales. The cementation shales are stronger and do not disintegrate when subjected to wetting and drying. The compaction shales, on the other hand, are soft and they slack when subjected to alternate wetting and drying. They have tendency to flow away from the loaded area and therefore the structure settles. Swelling and caving may result during the excavation work, which may cause trouble. After excavating the weathered rock, either concrete should be placed immediately without delay or its surface should be coated with asphalt to avoid swelling and caving. Next point, dams on soluble rocks. The soluble rocks include limestone, dolomite and marble. These rocks are generally sufficiently strong to support the weight of the dam, but they may contain underground solution canals and caverns. If such solution canals are present at the dam site, the leakage through them may be on such a large scale that the reservoir may not hold water for long. The treatment of such opening is very expensive, therefore they should be carefully looked for in the suitable or soluble rock before construction of a dam. Dams on jointed and permeable rocks. Where highly feature jointed and permeable rocks exist below the dam, they will not only cause leakage of water but also build uplift pressure on the base of the dam. The uplift pressure acts opposite to the weight of the structure and it may cause sliding. Such rocks may be consolidated by grouting. Next is the dams on fault. Faults are most troublesome if they are encountered across the length of the dam. It is better to avoid fault zone for the construction of dam. It causes the troubles. Here you can see in a figure upstream side faults and downstream side faults, and dam is on the fault, harmful unless inactive and properly treated. Next, that is faults which are not harmful because water will be infiltrated and causes the trouble or failure of the dam. Next point is the influence of geological conditions on alignment, that is abutment problems. Carefully attention should be given to the orientation of joints, bedding planes, foliations and weak zones that are present in the abutment rock. If such weak rocks lie parallel to the thrust of water in the reservoir, the stability of structure may be endangered. The rocks that exist in the abutment of arch dam should be strong enough to resist the pressure without being crushed. Dams on strata dipping upstream. The dams located on rock dipping upstream represents ideal foundation condition. They are the most capable of supporting the weight of the dam and the most capable of and the pressure of the reservoir, because the result of these two forces act nearly at right angle to the bedding planes of rocks. Further, the upstream dip of rock does not allow the water in the reservoir to percolate below the dam. As a result, the leakage of water and the development of uplift pressure will be minimum. Next is dams on strata dipping downstream. The dams constructed on rocks dipping downstream may not be safe due to the following reasons. That is, the percolation of water may lubricate the junctions of rocks beds, which facilitate sliding of dam. Next is the water percolating through the strata dissolve the cementing material of rocks and enlarge the opening by mechanical erosion. This undermines the strength of rock and increases seepage of water. Next, the water which enters into the opening of rocks below the dam causes the development of uplift pressure, which tends to decrease the stability of structure. The resultant of the weight of the dam and pressure of the reservoir water. In this case, this resultant acts nearly parallel to the bedding plane and endanger the stability of the dam. Next is the dams on horizontal strata. This geological situation is good at the dam side because the load of the dam acts perpendicular to the bedding planes. The seepage of water is also prevented by weight of the dam. Thus, uplift pressure can be reduced. If the strata are composed of alternate hard and soft rock, it shall be undesirable. Next, dams on folded strata. Dams aligned along axial region would be resting on most unsound rock in terms of strength. In synclinal beds or bends, dams placed on the upstream limb would run the risk of leakage from beneath the dam. Next point, influence of rock type. The rock present in the foundation and abutment of dams must be sound enough to withstand the expected static and dynamic pressure. For that, the type of rock present at the dam site plays most important role along with structure of the rocks. First we consider the igneous rock. The massive igneous rock like granite, syenite, diorites, gabbros, dolerites and the like may be classes among the excellent category, as they possesses compressive strength, shear strength and modulus of elasticity far in excess than even required for very high dams. When undisturbed by sedimentary processes such as folding, faulting and unaffected by weathering and erosion, these are invariably almost impermeable. Next is the sedimentary rocks. The strength of the coarse sediments such as sandstone, conglomerates and breccias will depend upon the degree of cementation and the nature of cement. As the degree of cementation goes on increasing with time, the strength of sediments increases. Thus, older the sediments, the stronger it will be. The well cemented Kadapa sandstone and quartzites have high strength, while the much younger Himalayan sediments of Paleozoic and Mesozoic age are often and weaker, are softer and weaker, often creating serious problem. The strength of sediments in this very variable, as there are so many factors affecting it. It is therefore necessary to determine carefully the strength of all sediments in the laboratories as well as under field condition. Determination of strength must be carried not only dry but also in wet. This is particularly important in case of poorly consolidated sediments and those with argillaceous sediments. Next is the metamorphic rock. This group of rock exhibits greatest variation in terms of suitability for dam site. Some varieties are hard, compact, thoroughly crystalline, well knit and massive, and the ideal rock for dam foundations such as granite, gneiss, quartzite and marbles, etc. However, some other varieties like schist, slates and phyllites may pose considerable troubles and require very thorough investigation with regards to their foliation. Mica contains fracturization and cleavages and so on. Still, many dams have been located even on these rocks rocks after proper investigations and treatments. The Dal Hasti projects in Kishtwar, Jammu and Kashmir, India, and the Uri projects also in Kashmir, India, have gneissic and phyllitic rocks as their sites. Schist and mylonites occur at the Hirakud Dam site in Orissa. Next is the geology of the reservoir site. Reservoir may be broadly be classified as artificially created water storage basin with storage capacity that may range from few thousand cubic meter to billions of cubic meter. There are two major functions of reservoir, or three major functions of reservoir, that is storage and conservation reservoir, flood control reservoir, distribution reservoirs. Next point, that is selection of a suitable site for reservoir site. It is difficult to prevent or minimize the failure of large reservoirs if the reservoirs are not placed at suitable site. A reservoir failure causes sudden increase in the discharge in the downstream of a river valley with the potential to wash away towns and villages and cause considerable loss of life and property. The selection of suitable site for a reservoir involves some important considerations. That is, the rock of the reservoir site should be hard and impervious in nature like basalt, granite, quartzite, etc. Reservoir should be located in the areas composed of rocks having high porosity and permeability like limestone, shale, sandstones, slates, etc. The high density of fractures and joints within the reservoir rocks can seriously damage the dam structure by escalating the water seepage from the reservoir. All the joints and fractures should be treated by grouting and backfilling techniques. Next, to minimize the length and construction cost of the dam, narrow opening of the basin is essential. The reservoir site should be easily accessible by road and nearby towns. The general topography of the area should be capable of naturally holding large quantity of water without submerging excessive land and nearby towns. Next is the source of the water in the reservoir should not be from the turbulence that carry high sediments and silt load. Next, reservoir area should not contain mines or rocks with high salt content. Next, the availability of all types of construction material near the site and nearby town or city. It can minimize the construction cost and time of the dam. Next, more serious problem may be arises, that is the silting problem is the main problem in the reservoir site. Majority of the rivers contain low to very high sediment content. However, the rivers within the high sediment content are the source of water for any dam reservoir. then it causes the problem of reservoir silting. The problems of silting within the reservoir can be minimized by carefully consideration of the some points. That is, the sediment load of the river can minimize by construction series of small check dams in the upstream direction of the rivers. The thick vegetation cover in the upstream side of the reservoir side in the catchment areas minimize the erosion sediments, or maintain the storage capacity of the reservoir. It is essential to remove the already deposited sediment from the reservoir. It can remove by excavation, drainage, and flushing by sluice ways. By increasing the dam height, the storage capacity of reservoir can be maintained. But it is not easy as well as economically feasible solution. Therefore, this option should be opted only when other options are failed to maintain the reservoir storage capacity. Now, the conclusion of our today's discussion is, in ancient times, dams were built for the single purpose of water supply or irrigation. As the civilizations developed, there was a great need for water supply, irrigation, flood control, navigation, water quality, sediment control, and energy. Therefore, dams are constructed for a specific purpose such as water supply, flood control, irrigation, navigation, sedimentation control, and hydropower. The demand of water is steadily increasing throughout the world. There is no life on the earth without water, our most important source apart from air and land. For almost 5,000 years, dams have served to ensure an adequate supply of water by storing water in times of surplus and releasing it in times of scarcity, thus also preventing or mitigating floods. Most of the dams are single purpose dams, but there is now a growing number of multi-purpose dams. If the dams are not properly constructed, there will be a severe disaster in the downstream region of the dams. This unit highlighted the different general aspects of dams, their causes of failure, and geological structures affecting dam site, suitable dam site to construct, etc. Thank you.